A 27-year-old inmate at Rikers Island somehow managed to sneak his way into a watch post at the prison and proceed to sexually assault a female corrections officer. Now, as that was happening, there were other inmates that saw what was going down, and they actually took it upon themselves to save her from the sexual assault. Now, according to witnesses that saw the event, during the attack, Young, who is 5'9" and weighs 290 pounds, pulled down his pants and began masturbating while choking the officer. He also managed to drag her into a bathroom where he allegedly took off her sweater and proceeded to sexually assault her. He put his lips on her lips, and it was obviously a very scary ordeal for the woman, who has not been identified at this point. So one of the skinny inmates managed to slip through an opening into the area that they were in and somehow get this guy off the female corrections officer. And then the other inmates called other authorities to come and help with the situation. So thankfully, it didn't go too far. But I think stories like this are important, right? Because a lot of people are under the assumption or the impression that all inmates are terrible people. They're all in there for bad reasons. And, you know, if they're treated poorly, who cares? They broke the law and they deserve bad things. No, a lot of these people are empathetic. They are good people. A lot of these people are in there for nonviolent offenses. So I like that this story came out and you have an example of inmates going out of their way to help a corrections officer. Now,
of course, Raleigh Young, who's the guy who allegedly did this, is also a terrible guy.
Yes.
And so are some inmates terrible? Of course they are, right? And there's a reason why some of them are in the position that they're in. But there's an extra bit of irony here. So I often wonder why there's so much rape in prison, why that's allowed. What a weird thing, like where we've decided, oh, rape is completely unacceptable, unless you're in prison, in which case the guards look the other way and who gives a shit, so rape anybody you like, right? I just find it mind-blowing that we live in a country that routinely allows that. But look at this. So the guards often look the other way and allow the inmates to be raped. But when it's a guard being raped, the inmates were actually more decent, and they stepped up and they didn't allow it.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I never really thought about it that way. But the fact that rape is allowed in prison just shows you how much our society just doesn't care about inmates at all, right? Like, it's not about rehabilitating them. These are people that are seen as throwaways. So we don't care about making them better people so they come back to society and are productive members of it. We just care about punitive actions against their crimes. That's it.
Well, God bless them for destroying stereotypes there, and my guess is that the guard there is enormously thankful. And by the way, I hope that that they're recognized for their actions. I mean, you want to talk about time off for good behavior.
That's definitely good behavior.
Doesn't get any better behavior than this.
By the way, I should also note that the suspect in this case is being prosecuted for his new crimes. There was some question as to whether or not he would be prosecuted for them, but yes, he will be. So attempted rape, you guys get the picture. He was actually serving time in prison and has been serving time in prison since 2007 because he raped someone under the age of 14.
Yeah, look, there are things that go bump in the night. And that's why I'm somewhere between our prison system, which is so vicious and ridiculous, and Norway's prison system, where that guy would get to complain that he doesn't have the latest PlayStation. Right, the latest video games.